Hello. I'm Rita. Today is an unlucky. Today was an unlucky anniversary. You know, it's been so many years since, you know, I don't know if I should say this, but 14 years ago today, the unlucky number 14 got. That's why I'm uploading that video, because that's why I call this unlucky day, because, a contestant named Rosa Chernuna lost the dice game. Well, the thing is that, well, the Bob Barker style was that she had two numbers right. She had three. Well, actually, she got two automatics. The middle number, which was rolled correct, and the last one, which was a 6. And it came down to the two numbers that Bob had to worry. I'm doing it as the Bob Barker version. Bob checked the one that was higher than 2, and that's where she lost. Because she rolled a 3 on the second digit and said it was lower. And if she did the right thing, yes, she did the right thing on going lower than 3. Because it worried Bob when it comes to a number, when it comes to going with the odds, Because rolling a 3 and going lower, she thought it was either a $21,000 or $22,000, $22,500 automobile. And you know that's a good strategy on going lower than 3, because if the first number is a 2 and you roll a 3, you have to think. Sometimes you would say, what type of car am I playing for? Some cases the car would be less than 23,000 or higher than that. Well, when it comes to Scions, Hyundais, some of the cars are usually worth less than 23,000. But there are cars that are higher than 23, like Camaros are higher than that. So are the Cadillacs. Well, Cadillacs don't start with 2. But usually when it comes to the expensive cars, like, when it comes to, like, some of them are Chryslers. No, some of them would be Buicks, Camaros. There are some Mustangs that are worth less or higher than $23,000. When it comes to Mustangs, when it comes to Camaros or Lincoln Mercuries, Lincolns are higher than that. And she was playing for a Hyundai. And why do I call this unlucky 14? Because the last numbers of the price of the car ended with that number. Bob wanted to light up the second digit first and thought that it was a sure thing. He said, no. I don't know how she said, but he was like, oh, sure thing. Now, if I was on the dice game and saw that loss, I would have to ask Bob, can we line up the next number? But for this Bob Barker version, he said yes. And he was like, oh, sure. What's that second number? Was that a 1 or a 2? Was it lower than 3? And it was correct. Yeah, it was correct. It was a 1. Because, you know, there are some cases that the contestants... Yeah, it's just like another example that if you roll a 4 on on the first row of the die and the first number is a 1, you would say that then that it's going to be higher than $14,000. And it is. Nowadays, cars are worth more than that. Automobiles are worth more than that. Depending. One thing I wanted to say that why I've been written up on that day many times. But you know, one thing I wanted to say is that I don't know, because you know that number makes me think about the price of the car. And the last two numbers ended with 514. Oh boy, that's unlucky 51 and 14. And there was a phrase saying that those stations are not going to bear nothing but great. They're not going to be great independent stations like 26 and 39. Two of the numbers that have been known for Houstonians for over a half a century of experience, because those stations had signed on. Well, when I think about that number, because you know, 14 times 3 equals 39. Know that. And and I was so shocking when I saw that lost. It made my day go unlucky. But it made me want to think that they should play squeeze play for a loss, having the prize that contains the number 39. You know, that's kind of unlucky number that is, because it usually is a loss. That number usually is a loss. Yeah. You know, I don't feel oh, hello. Yeah, I was unlucky. That was an unlucky day for me back in 10. You know, Rosa losing the car. Then the same thing happens. October the 4th. This time, the only difference was that Courtney played the dice game and she lost. She rolled the last two dice twos. She lost on her way on getting to the last digit. Yeah. The first rolls were sixes. And all Bob had to worry were the last digits of the price of the car not to be a 1, and it was. And the next number was correct, it was a 4. Now I could see that 21,514 had been. The win, has that car ever been used as a win? Yeah. I say many times. But I will go back to October 12th of '01, and yeah, that was, I know she got a 1 on the, she wrote a 1 on the second, on the third roll of the die, and that was correct, and then she rolled a 6. And everything was all right. Yes, I'm gonna upload a video right now, so I'm gonna upload in a minute. Okay, and you know, I did not like that. So when the dice game was lost, I screamed. Yeah. You know, when it comes to me writing the dates on the calendar, you know, here's one thing I wanted to say. You're viewing Houston's WB 51 and 14. Then KHTB 51 Houston, a Gaylord Broadcasting Company. You get it. As well as the slogan gold. KHTB Channel 14. KHTB Houston. I could play KHTB. I could play the KHTB song. Okay. That was my unlucky day. And there had been a dice game loss in 92, 86. Yeah, September 23rd. And we had Terry. He lost the dice game. Terry rolled 2 5s. The thing was that the first roll was a 2. Terry rolled a 3, and that was correct. Then he rolled the next 2 rolls for 5s, and the last digit was a 2 that he rolled. And Drew, well, as long as Terry doesn't have a 6 on either one of the 2 digits of the price of the car, he would win. Drew checked the middle number first. Yeah, and that was a loss. He lost on the 6, and he was right on the next digit, which was a 3. Yeah, and he was playing for a $23,632 automobile that day. And that's how many years it had been since the 34. Since the dice game had been lost 32 years ago. Yeah, then Drew did say light up the next number after the loss, resulting that it was a 3. Kind of was screwed, but that 6 got him, but that 6 got him. Because of that 6 got him and lost. Here we go. But I could play the Gaylord song. You ready for the Gaylord song? Hit it. Oh. Really? Dun 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 dun. Yeah, I was. I was in a bad mood. And you know, if the 514 would have been in the first digits, and here's what they would have drawn was, you want them to draw either a 2 or a 3 and to go higher so that they could get that last number digit right, making it a 5. Well, when you throw in the 5 on the last digit of the price of the car, you would say, don't forget, feast your eyes on 45-inch TV. That's known as Que se ve Canal 20 Univision. Channel 20, KXON TV, Rosenberg, Houston. Tu Canal 20, 45, El Canal de las Estrellas. Gaylord Broadcasting Company. Was Gaylord Broadcasting Company had been on Kirby Drive, or had they been affiliated with 20 and 45? Well, they're not on West Park, so that's not going to count as Gaylord unless if you want to do it as a Jose Príncipe de la Canción style. Yeah. Well, I don't even know what to say right now, but I'm going to play the Gaylord song. Let me see if that's the Gaylord song. Yeah. But what do you think? Oh, I don't know what to say. But the Price is Right started its season. Okay. Gaylord. For KSTW, KDFI, KHTV, KW, UAB, and WBTB, and KDFI. Sure. Okay. Well, I don't know, but I'll sign off. I mean, that was surely was a shocking day. But today, the Price is Right. Guess what? They gave away 3 new cars. Yes. And we had a $16,000 win on It's in the Bag. The first It's in the Bag, the first win of It's in the Bag was played today, and they won the $16,000 grand prize. I'm going to get to the grand prize win of the I'm going to get to the grand prize win. I think that was a good 13-year anniversary of that loss. And that ended up becoming and they used 16-3-16, 16-3-15, and now 15 got a lucky number this day. Those were unlucky numbers. So I could see, okay, but I could see that but then 2 years, 2 more plays on that day, we had a win. Jill won in 08, and then the next year we had another win of the dice game. And she played it safe. So, 7. So in 08 and 09, those dice games were won, except for 10. And that was a loss. I tell you that the first game was won, and it was for one wrong prize. And Diego Rodriguez Alvarado chose the key as the wrong prize, and he won. Allison Zindex played pushover. Thought it was 26-3-15. Yeah, he lost. He won. She won. No, actually, she won the trip worth $16,315. And then came Michael. He lost cliffhangers. And he was so crazy that he thought he guessed the prize. He thought the last prize was in the 20s instead of saying $40. And he lost. I don't know why I got him. Switch was won. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Diego won 3 new cars on the Price is Right, actually. On the first game, one wrong prize. And on Lucky 7, Daphne lost. Guessing the last digit was an 8 instead of a 5. She was crazy. Again, she was crazy. And then it's in the bag. Gracie gets in the bag. Gracie Thomas.